So guys, today we're going to be looking at how we can build a track inside the session view. It feels more like you're playing live when you're playing in the session view. So we're not going to create a full track, but we're going to go about how I would start a track in the session view, and we're also going to be using my Arturia Minilab keyboard here, so we can assign all the automations to the keyboard rather than just using the computer. So it's a cool way to play kind of live rather than just pressing buttons on your computer all the time and gets a bit boring. So let's dive into Ableton and see what we can do. Right guys, so you can see we're in the session view now, which consists of 2 MIDI channels and 2 audio channels, and I've just imported a sidechain channel as well. So rather than starting with a drum beat and a hi-hats, for example, I'm going to start with a kind of pad sound or an atmospheric sound. The reason I'm doing this is because sometimes when you just make drums and hi-hats and then you go from there, you end up with a track that you never intended to make, rather than going and finding a kind of sound, an ambience which you want to base your track around. So what I like to do is find some kind of ambience, and I know exactly the direction the track's going to be heading in then. So in our first channel, I'm going to be picking a MIDI. Yeah, I'm going to use a MIDI channel, and I'm going to put in a sampler. And we're just going to find a sort of ambience that I want to use the track around. So let's just, I actually like some of the Weska Pack ambience sounds. Let's just go and try and find one. I think these are basses. That one could work. So first of all, I'm going to drag it into the sampler like this, and then I'm going to be choosing the key of our track. Now, the key can be anything because we're just starting. So let's just, I think we're going to go with A. And let's just hit play. Right, you can see it's very loud, so let's bring it down a bit. Maybe take the limiter off the master. Okay, let's go into the sample because it's not sitting right on the tempo, and we can press warp. Now let's try it. Now I want this to go a bit longer than just one bar because it keeps finishing too sudden. So what we can do in the MIDI channel is we can go back in here and just head over to the left, and where it says length here, it says 1. We want to stretch it out at least 4 bars like this, and then we can drag it all the way across. Let's give it a play now. That'll do me fine. And let's say, where do I want to loop it from? Let's just take it from the middle here. Okay, right, now we don't want that, it's a bit too in your face for the start of a track, but what we can do here is go and grab an auto filter, okay, and we're going to filter some of the higher frequencies out. Okay, also we can add a reverb. Let's take the spin off, give it a low cut, take the high cut off, and take chorus off, we don't need that. Let's bring our decay up. And then what we can do is add a chorus ensemble as well. So what I'm going to do with all these effects are I'm going to assign them to my MIDI keyboard over there, so I can actually change them from the knobs on the keyboard rather than just getting into the parameters and changing it from the mouse. But first of all, let's grab an EQ8 and take away all the lows. There's definitely some lows in that. And we can add a compressor as well, because it's going to be getting louder as we open up the filter. So let's just grab a compressor. If you want to assign this to your MIDI keyboard, the first thing you need to do is group all these tracks and set them to macros. So if you can do that by holding just hold the simpler down, for example, and press shift, go away across to the very end and press shift again, and now they're all selected. And what you can do is right click and group all the tracks, and now they're all grouped together in the one track. And if you go up here, you can see all your macros. So the first of all we want to do is we're definitely going to assign our filter cutoff to macro 1, because that's the most important one. So assign it, map it to macro 1, and you'll see it over here. Next thing that we can do is also add the dry wet on the reverb, assign it to macro 2, and now you can see it's assigned over here as well. We'll just rename that, say dry wet, and then we can go over to our chorus ensemble on the dry wet as well, and we'll map that to macro number 3, and we can just write chorus, rename chorus, so we know exactly where all they are. Now, to use the MIDI keyboard, if any of you have got one, this is how you do it. So I'm going to go up here, and where it says MIDI, select it, and now you'll see they've all turned blue. I'm going to choose a knob on my keyboard and start twisting it whilst I click on the the frequency knob first, so it's selected. And now I'm going to twist number 2, and you'll see it started moving. So now I'm going to take off MIDI, and you'll see that now I'm controlling it with my keyboard. So let's play it. We're going to do the same again for the dry wet on the reverb. So select the MIDI and select dry wet. Start moving number 3 knob on my keyboard, and we can also select chorus, and I'll move number 10, which is just below 2. So now these are all going to be assigned to my keyboard, and I can take the MIDI off, and now we can start playing about with them. So let's just play a bit with let's turn the frequency all the way up. I'll take the reverb down, chorus up, chorus down, reverb up, so now we've got some kind of atmosphere that the track can be based around so it's easier for us now to direct in which way the track is going. So we can now start adding some drum samples, some hi-hats, percussions or whatever. We could maybe even add another pad in, and then what we're going to do after that is we're going to record it into the arrangement session. So now it's time to start adding in a kick. So let's just go to the Wesca Pack kicks, and we'll pick, let's try this one, and we'll put it to, I'll take that from audio, insert a MIDI channel, and we'll just double click, go into the clip, and we'll just set it to C3, just drag it, and let's just play it. Okay, we're just going to leave it like that. If you want to change about the kick, you can actually go in here and just use the sustain button to shorten it for a bit. So let's just play it solo and play it. We'll just leave it at the sustain as it is now, and then we're going to add an extra MIDI track, and we're going to add some hi-hats and maybe a clap. So let's just go and type in a drum rack. So that's assigned there, and let's just go back to the Wesca Pack, and we'll pick some hi-hats. This closed hi-hat might work. Set it to C1. Try this other one as well, and we're just going to put in Actually, because these Wesca packs start here with nothing, they start in the middle, so we need to drag them all the way across here, and the same with the other one. Okay, let's just bring the gain down and the volume slightly, and let's go into the clip, and you'll see the two of them are selected here. And we're going to put this on the offbeat. That's alright, and we'll just double that across. Maybe we can add a clap somewhere. I actually want to take this further than just one length, maybe take it to 4 bars so we can add some claps in different places. Let's just go over to the claps. This one, clap 10, we'll drag it into the drum rack, go into the clip, and let's just put it that's a bit housey, that. Let's just set it. Nope. We'll just set it in the usual places, so we'll just put it here. Okay, and we'll just double that across. What we can do is also add a closed hi-hat in there. So let's just go back to our hats. Hat 8, we've not used that yet, this could work. And we're going to be putting a 16 bar. And we'll duplicate that across. Closed hi-hats should always be a bit quieter, so let's just select them all and pull them down. And what we're going to do is shorten that clip even more by going into the drum rack and just bringing it, actually we can take it from the left. Let's take that clap off, I don't like it. Delete. Okay, next thing what we can do is maybe even add another atmospheric element by just going into the MIDI channel, and we'll select a sampler again, or we can just drag a sample right down to the bottom there and it will go into a sampler anyway. So I like this ambience pad noise I've got off one of my sample packs. There we go. I think it could be this one here. Let's just bring it down. Sorry, put it in the MIDI track, and it's here. Now it's a bit high on the frequencies and we are in the key of A. Let's put it down to, yeah, that's good, A1, and we'll just drag that across. And let's just do the exact same process for this. Let's just give it a loop, play it. Now let's grab a auto filter, a reverb, and a chorus. And what we're going to do here as well, we're going to group these all together just like the last one. So select this, and they're all selected. Right click and group, and let's just assign the same knobs to the macros by macro 1, macro 2, macro 3, and turn spin, chorus off. And then I'm going to assign these to my MIDI keyboard quickly. So MIDI, we were on 2, 3 and 10 there, now we're going to do 4, 5 and 12. And now these are all assigned to my MIDI keyboard as well. So let's just play this solo and play the MIDI. Right, so guys, we've got enough elements here to start off our track now. Obviously, because this is just a YouTube tutorial and I want to keep it quite short, I'm going to just cut it short at here and start putting them into the arrangement. Otherwise, I'll be putting a lot more elements in it and working my way through a full track. But because I want to keep it short, because obviously nobody likes watching a pure long YouTube tutorial, we'll just keep it short as it is. So let's just start recording and we'll play from the first, we'll play from the first instrument here, then we'll put in the pad, and then we'll drop in the kick and the drum rack. So I'm just going to pause this so everything's off, and I'm going to press record and start playing with our MIDI keyboard. Right, so let's just dive into the arrangement view here, and if you click here you'll see all the automations which were made on the keyboard. So there's the frequency. If you change it to the chorus, you'll see the chorus being shaped here, and also the dry wet function. Right guys, that was just a basic overview of how the session view works. I think I'm going to actually go and continue this song and try and turn it into a full track. And in my future course that's coming out, I'm going to try and use the session view for most of it, and then eventually when I've got all the elements in place, I'm going to start putting it into the arrangement view and then taking it from there. So stay tuned for that. That'll be coming out soon. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you've not already done so, and I'll see you guys in the next video.